All right, lots of confusion swirling around parking meters in this city. You remember it was a few weeks back, right? Over the weekend, a story came out. The stickers had changed on the parking meters in downtown Montreal, and now they were saying they're in effect from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. People are like, what's the deal, right? And the city was, Montreal, they were caught flat-footed. They're like, oh, no, this wasn't supposed to happen. We were unaware. I'm like, you're unaware? You're the city. How are you unaware? Anyways, the official opposition is calling for Montreal, the city, to cancel the expansion of parking meter hours. They say the city is trying to pull a fast one on Montrealers, and I guess it is pretty fast if it comes with a sticker change and not telling anyone else. They had a press conference on Monday explaining that merchants are angry about the announcement, especially at a time where they say downtown is still struggling to pick up. Let's talk now with Aref Salem, leader of Ensemble Montreal. Hi, Aref. How you doing?
Good, you?
Doing very well. Okay, first things first, why don't you just break it down for me? What is the current state of these proposed extension in hours, right? Because the stickers went up, and then the city said, oh, geez, we didn't even know that there were these stickers. And they said it's not happening yet. Is it happening? Do we have a concrete date when this comes into effect? What's the deal?
Well, basically, we don't know. That's why we're forcing the debate for the next council with this motion that we're tabling. What we're saying, like now, the administration, they want to extend the hours from 8 o'clock a.m. to 11 o'clock p.m. from Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Saturday, and 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Sunday. And if you remember, last council, I asked the mayor, I told her, what are the orientations? And she said there is a moratorium of 2 weeks. 4 weeks later today, we don't have any clue what's going on in the city, and we as elected officials, we don't know. So imagine the population of Montreal.
Okay, so that's it. And that's why there's just been so much confusion as to whether or not this will happen and that kind of thing. So let me just ask you, your party's position, your position on the extended hours. Let's say it's Mayor Salem I'm talking to this morning. What would be your party's position on parking hours in this city?
Well, basically, for us, we're asking the administration right now to step back on this decision. And why? I'm going to explain it. You know, this decision, it's not going to help the merchants of the city. And we can see the Chamber of Commerce, the SDC Montreal Centre-Ville, they were really strongly against these changes. And, you know, all the businesses, they open from 9 o'clock a.m. to 9 o'clock p.m. So the extension is going to penalize the residents that they don't have a place to park. And they're taking these spots. And we know that our downtown, there's a lot of residents there. Mm-hmm. And it's penalizing the people that they come to Montreal, because we know after 9 o'clock p.m., there is restaurant open, there is festival there is people they come to see theater in the city. So we're really shooting on the people that, you know, they're coming for the cultural offer of the city. So I don't understand why this position is taken and why we're still, until now, we're in really absolutely black. We don't know where we're going. We don't have any orientation. And as I told you, that we're going to force the administration to take a decision by the next council.
Do you think that at the end of the day, this is just a matter of time? Maybe it's in 2 weeks, maybe it's in 2 months, but the stickers were printed. Do you think at the end of the day, these hours will be extended?
I think so. You know, I don't want to take the place of the mayor to decide. But, you know, when you spend, I don't know how many thousands of dollars printing 18,000 stickers, you know, this decision can't be taken by the Agence de Mobilité by itself. So the administration is involved. Mm-hmm. And by the way, we voted the document in December. And in the document, we had to go to the page 1851 to find this information. And imagine, the administration knows about it. And they start the changes, and it's the Gazette that, you know, a media who put out an article, and there's no one from this administration who went out and tell the Montrealer, well, there is a huge change. We're going to charge you an extra 24 hours a week in downtown Montreal. And it's not just in downtown Montreal. It's in all the borough of the city. So anyone who lives in any borough of the city, he has to pay from 8 o'clock a.m. to 11 o'clock p.m.
We're with Aref Salem, leader of Ensemble Montreal. We're talking about parking in the city, parking meters in the city, and proposals to extend hours. So let me ask you this. If your party was in power, would you would you keep the same hours as they are now?
Yes, because there is a reason for these hours. We know that the business is open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So if we need people to rotate on the street, that's the reason of being of the parking. It's not to tax the people. It's not to let them pay for hours that they're not using these streets for the merchants. Basically, that's why we have parkometers. We don't want people to spend 10 hours on the street.
Yeah.
So we ask them to go 2 hours. They leave. They leave the place for someone else to go to and see the businesses in the area. So we don't understand why this extension, unless it's an extra tax that the administration is putting there.
So let me ask you if maybe in the back of your mind you're thinking, let them do it, right? Let them extend the hours, and then in the next election, you can run on a platform of going back to the old hours. Is there any part of you that, if they're going to make this mistake, any part of you that wants them to do it so that you'll have something to run on?
What I want? I don't want the Montrealer to be penalized. And this decision, it's penalizing the Montrealers. It's penalizing the cultural offer of the city. It's penalizing the resident of downtown, and not just downtown, the resident of all the boroughs that they have parkometers, and they use these spots at least to park their car. Imagine at the plateau, you cannot park anymore before 8 o'clock, and you can't park after 8 o'clock and before 11 p.m. It's insane.
What would you do to make parking better in the city?
Well, the rotation is good. That's, keep it the way it is. We probably, the dynamic tarification, it might work too when we have 100 or 120% of concentration in a place. Probably you can bring this modulation. It helps a bit. But changing the hours, if it's not an extra tax, I can't understand what it is.
So dynamic pricing, just to be clear for our listeners here, that would mean charge more during busy periods. So maybe 9 to 5 during the weekday, you charge more than the $4 right now. And then when it's less busy, you lower the rates. That's what you're talking about?
Absolutely.
What about pay by plate, Mr. Salem? What are your thoughts on pay by plate?
This is we brought a motion to the council a few years ago, and we are with this pay by plate. It's something to be done. And I remember when I did my parking politics for the city, it's one of the action that should be taken, and it's not taken until now. It should be done because, when you go to downtown, you spend, let's say, you pay for 2 hours, you spend an hour. You take your money and you can spend it in the Plateau, you can spend it in Saint Laurent, you can spend it in wherever you want to go, and at least your money is not lost, so you can use it. You have it as a credit. We brought this, but we didn't go far because the administration didn't follow on this one too.
Let me end off with this because I was downtown over the weekend. I live downtown, near our station here, but I walked on St. Catherine Street all the way to beyond McGill College, right, all the way to where the Simons is, and it was absolutely packed. I mean, there were people, they were shopping. So I just want to know, what do you think about downtown right now? Is it thriving or not?
Well, there's places, yes, but there is other places. It's really sad what we're seeing. I went to the village, in the corner of the village. There is no more businesses open there. There is people I had to knock on the door at 2:30 in the afternoon. So a guy comes to open his business and talk to me. He told me, we're afraid, we're paying taxes, the taxes are increasing, and the city is not there for us. So this was really sad, seeing what we saw on St. Catherine. Yes, there is places that it works well. If you go to the west, probably around Crescent. But if you go to the east, there is a lot to invest, and there is a lot of love to give in this area.
Mr. Salem, it's always great talking to you. Thanks so much for taking the time for our listeners this morning.
Thanks a lot, Elias.
Aref Salem is the leader of Ensemble Montreal.